If I'm suffering from SIBO, how long should I space my meals so it doesn't affect my bowel bacteria, doesn't make it worse? Stay tuned. We're going to talk about this next. Welcome to Gut Freedom, where we find your gut problem, fix it so you can live your best life. My name is Jason Goto, and I'm a SIBO sufferer like you for over a decade, actually. And I've done lots of research, and I found some great solutions for us along the way. So today we're going to talk about how long should I spread out my meals so I tend to give my body the best time for someone who's suffering from SIBO with too much bacteria in the small intestine. Well, it's a little interesting, but here's the answer. 5 hours between meals. Yes, 5 hours between meals. So what does that mean? I have breakfast at, let's say, 8 o'clock, space the meal 5 hours, so I can't have the next meal till when? 9, 10, 11, 12, 1 p.m. That's what time lunch is. So what happens when we gap ourselves with these 5 hours between meals? Well, what you're allowing to happen is finally the contents leave the stomach, then it leaves the small intestine, and it allows the small intestine to act like a broom and have your migrating motor complex sweep the food along so it gets rid of some of that bacteria as well. But what happens if we eat again? Well, it actually stops and slows down that migrating motor complex, the sweeping action of our small intestine, each time that we eat or drink something significant. So what do I mean by significant? Okay, example, piece of candy. Yeah, just a piece of candy. It can make our migrating motor complex, the sweeping action of our small intestine, stop for approximately 40 to 50 minutes just from this one piece of candy. And one of our favorites during the day, coffee. Just having coffee with calories can also stop our migrating motor complex, the sweeping action. So what might be okay? Well, what they've noticed clinically, it's very hard to study this in research, but clinically what they've noticed is if you have a cup of black coffee, black tea, or just water, how much? 1 cup, and you sip it for about 15 minutes, you're not going to mess up your migrating motor complex and it will continue to sweep. But if you're going to guzzle something or chug something down, yes, you're going to stop your migrating motor complex. So what does that do when you stop this, sweeping action, this migrating motor complex? It allows the bacteria to migrate upward, upward, upward towards your stomach. It shouldn't. We want to sweep it down toward the colon. We want it to go out the other end. But when your migrating motor complex stops, that sweeping action stops, it starts migrating the opposite way. And you're like, oh, yeah, we don't want that to happen. So what about overnight? They've also found that ideally you have 12 hours from when you go to bed till your next meal. So how do you kind of plan that out? Well, if your last meal is 8 p.m., then try not to eat until 8 a.m. Now, what does that mean? Do you have your meal at 8 p.m.? No. You don't want a ton of food just sitting in your stomach that you just ate and say, okay, my 12 hours counts now. Ideally, a couple hours before you start the 12-hour countdown, you've already eaten your meal. So ideally, you would stop eating at 6 p.m. 8 p.m. would be your starting window time till 8 a.m. that next morning. Okay, let's review. How much time between meals? 5 hours. Can you have a piece of candy? No, it'll stop it for almost an hour if you have just a piece of candy. What if I have coffee? It needs to be black. 1 cup, no more, and you sip it. You cannot chug it. You can have black tea. You can have water. Now, what if you said, oh, but I'll have black coffee, but I'll put stevia in it? No. You cannot do artificial sweeteners. None of them. Because what they do is they stimulate the receptors sitting inside your gut. And that tells your migrating motor complex, the sweeping action, to shut down as well. They have to be black. I'm really sorry. You can't add flavors. You can't add sweeteners. You can't do anything. It just has to be black. So what else can we do? Remember, we had this in another video when I was talking. What else you can do to help your body when you have your 5-hour window? You can also take prokinetics. And the two prokinetics I talked about that are over the counter are iberogast and ginger. And I put a link below in the resource page where you can get these. Last part of it, I want to emphasize more and more. We cannot snack. We cannot snack between meals. It just stops the migrating motor complex, the sweeping motion, and it allows the bacteria to migrate back up toward the mouth. No, it doesn't come out your mouth, but just think of it leaving the anus and coming towards your mouth. Okay, that's a bad idea, right? That's exaggerated, but that's what we're really talking about. We want 5 hours between meals, 12 hours at night. All right, guys, if you have any questions, please let me know. Add them to the comments below. Click subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.